before we learn more from the speaker's demonstration with Chloe, we need to pick up a few more new words. Okay, first three, indicator. Indicator means a sign that shows something. Okay, second, data. Remember, this is the plural form. The singular form is datum. And data refers to information about measurement or statistics. So when we talk about data, we are usually referring to numbers. And device means a piece of equipment to perform a special function. So for example, you can call your smartphone an electronic device. Your computer is also a device. My microphone here is another device. Genuine means honest, sincerely felt. And this is actually from our previous lesson, right? How to tell genuine smiles from fake smiles. And hard here is an adjective. It means with great effort. Do pay attention to this. Hardly means certainly not, okay? It is not the adjective of hard. The adjective of hard is still hard. Slim down means smaller or easier version of something. Okay, and real time means actual time. So if I say our lesson is going to be in real time in August, it means we will be online together at the same time. But this is actually not the case. Expressive means effectively showing different feelings. And the next one, portray, means to describe. Amass might be a new word for most people. It means to collect or gather. And quantify means to decide or measure the number of something. Okay, now let's take a look at the demonstration here.
Do the same for smirks.
So let me fast forward to the right.
And the next time it sees a new face, it essentially
should be here.
We've moved from being a research project at MIT to a company where my team, the Eyebrow. As you can see, the algorithm has essentially found Chloe's face, so it's this white bounding box, and it's tracking the main feature points on her face. So her eyebrows, her eyes, her mouth, and her nose. The question is, can it recognize her expression? So we're going to test the machine. So first of all, give me your poker face. Yep, awesome. And then as she smiles, this is a genuine smile, it's great. So you can see the green bar go up as she smiles. Now that was a big smile. Can you try like a subtle smile to see if the computer can recognize? It does recognize subtle smiles as well. We've worked really hard to make that happen. And then eyebrow raise, indicator of surprise. Brow furrow, which is an indicator of confusion. Frown. Yes, perfect. So these are all the different action units. There's many more of them. This is just a slimmed down demo. But we call each reading an emotion data point. And then they can fire together to portray different emotions. So on the right side of the demo, look like you're happy. So that's joy. Joy fires up. And then give me a disgust face. Try to remember what it was like when Zayn left One Direction. Yeah, really wrinkle your nose. Awesome. And the valence is actually quite negative, so you must have been a big fan. So valence is how positive or negative an experience is, and engagement is how expressive she is as well. So imagine if Chloe had access to this real-time emotion stream and she could share it with anybody she wanted to. Thank you. So far we have amassed 12 billion of these emotion data points. It's the largest emotion database in the world. We've collected it from 2.9 million face videos, people who have agreed to share their emotions with us, and from 75 countries around the world. It's growing every day. It blows my mind away that we can now quantify something as personal as our emotions, and we can do it at this scale. So what have we learned to date? Gender. Our data confirms something that you might suspect. Women are more expressive than men. Not only do they smile more, their smiles last longer, and we can now really quantify what is it that men and women respond to differently. Let's do culture. So in the United States, women are 40% more expressive than men, But curiously, we don't see any difference in the UK between men and women. Age, people who are 50 years and older are 25% more emotive than younger people. Women in their 20s smile a lot more than men the same age, perhaps a necessity for dating. But perhaps what surprised us the most about this data is that we happen to be expressive all the time, even when we're sitting in front of our devices alone. And it's not just when we're watching cat videos on Facebook. We're expressive when we're emailing, texting, shopping online, or even doing our taxes. Where's this data?
Okay, let's pause here to unpack the section on demonstration and her findings. Okay, so let me move to... Okay, so from the demonstration, we learned that the speaker has shrunken the core engine to make the application very portable. You can use this application on your phone or on your tablet computer. And as you can see in the image here, there are different bars here to track main feature, and the speaker asked Chloe to do a poker face, genuine smile, subtle smile, and the computer did recognize these feelings through these green bars. And from a reading like this is called an emotion data point. And from the bar charts presented in the speaker's talk, we know more about their data collection. So the first thing is we can quantify emotions now. The first finding is 1.12 billion emotion data points are collected, and they also collect 2.9 million face videos. And what are the findings? They compare and contrast women and men in the US and in the UK. And in the UK, women and men do not see so many differences. Okay, and they also compare it with different age groups. And it turns out that human beings are expressive all the time, even when we are doing our taxes. Okay, so before we move on to the next section on how this app can be used in other situations, let's pick up a few more words. Virality means the degree of how something is spread widely. So if someone says this video is viral, goes viral, it means it is everywhere. Everybody must have seen it. Individual here means a person. Autism means a condition characterized by difficulties in maintaining social relationships. So if a person is autistic, they might have difficulty socializing or interacting with other people. And impaired here means unable to function normally. Available means ready to use or free to do something. Potential means expressing possibility. And engage means to bring something together. Interpret means to explain or tell the meaning of something. Binge means to do something excessively. And the point here, outweigh, means to exceed the value or importance of something. And to curb means to stop something from doing something. And reclaim is to take the possession of something back. Okay? So that's it for the vocabulary for the TED Talk. If you find the amount of vocabulary overwhelming, please remember we are doing asynchronous learning. You can pause the video anytime you want to take notes or to go back to the previous segment to watch certain parts of the video again. Okay, so this is one of the benefits of asynchronous learning. Okay, now let's go and watch the remaining of the talk.
Wrinkle your nose.
So
Awesome.
To the point.
Largest emotion database in the world is around the world. It's growing every day. It blows my mind away. Gen Act. Their smiles last longer. Curiously, we don't see people who are 50 years and older are. Perhaps what surprised us the most about this data is that we happen to be expressive all the time, even when we're sitting in
So
front
we
of our
were about
devices
here.
alone. And it's not just when we're watching cat videos on Facebook. We're expressive when we're emailing, texting, shopping online, or even doing our taxes. Where is this data used today? In understanding how we engage with media, so understanding virality and voting behavior, and also empowering or emotion-enabling technology. And I want to share some examples that are especially close to my heart. Emotion-enabled wearable glasses can help individuals who are visually impaired read the faces of others. And it can help individuals on the autism spectrum interpret emotion, something that they really struggle with. In education, imagine if your learning app sensed that you're confused and slowed down, or that you're bored, so it's sped up, just like a great teacher would in a classroom. What if your wristwatch tracked your mood, or your car sensed that you're tired? Or perhaps your fridge knows that you're stressed, so it auto-locks to prevent you from binge eating. I would like that, yeah. What if when I was in Cambridge, I had access to my real-time emotion stream and I could share that with my family back home in a very natural way, just like I would have if we were all in the same room together.
Okay, so let's pause here to unpack a little bit. So from this section, we learned that this app can be used as an emotional enabling technology. It can be built into the glasses to help visually impaired people read faces, or it can be worn by people who are on the autism spectrum to help them recognize different emotions so that they don't offend others. Okay, and it can also be built into watches to monitor your physical reaction, or it can be built into cars, or even the auto locks on your fridges to prevent you from eating too much. Okay, so these are the extended functions of this application. Okay, so we are about to turn into the conclusion. So everyone, you are almost done with this talk. So let's take a look at the conclusion.
Or perhaps your fridge knows that you're stressed, so it auto-locks to prevent you from binge eating. I would like that, yeah. What if when I was in Cambridge, I had access to my real-time emotion stream and I could share that with my family back home in a very natural way, just like I would have if we were all in the same room together. I think in 5 years down the line, all our devices are going to have an emotion chip. And we won't remember what it was like when we couldn't just frown at our device and our device would say, you didn't like that, did you? Our biggest challenge is that there are so many applications of this technology. My team and I realize that we can't build them all ourselves, so we've made this technology available so that other developers can get building and get creative. We recognize that there are potential risks and potential for abuse. But personally, having spent many years doing this, I believe that the benefits to humanity from having emotionally intelligent technology far outweigh the potential for misuse. And I invite you all to be part of the conversation. The more people who know about this technology, the more we can all have a voice in how it's being used. So as more and more of our lives become digital, we are fighting a losing battle trying to curb our usage of devices in order to reclaim our emotions. So what I'm trying to do instead is to bring emotions into our technology and make our technologies more responsive. So I want those devices that have separated us to bring us back together. And by humanizing technology, we have this golden opportunity to reimagine how we connect with machines, and therefore how we, as human beings, connect with one another. Thank you.
Okay, so we all deserve a round of applause as well because we just finished our first TED Talk together. I know you might not be able to understand everything in just one watch, feel free to watch the talk and my lecture one more time. Okay, so in asynchronous learning, you have the freedom to do everything over and over. Okay, do that, and also make good use of the transcript, okay, to help you process information more efficiently. Okay, so now I would like to draw your attention to page 17. So on page 17, I would like you to take a look at activity 9 and activity 10. So these two activities can encourage you to think critically. So like activity 9, it says think of different ways Reina softwares could be used. So how can it be used in advertising? How can it be used in healthcare and medicine? And how can it be used in shopping and fashion? And go to activity 10. Here we see different comments A to D. So trying to pick one comment that you agree with most and offer reason, and trying to pick one comment that you disagree with and give your reason. So if you have extra time, do that and jot down your answers on page 17. Okay, on page 17. Okay, so let's move on. So the conclusion, the speakers has 3 goals. Okay, so here she wants to make the application available for creativity so everybody can download it and use it for different purposes. And she wants it to be an app with benefits far weighing risk and abuse. So in her opinion, she believes using this app has more benefits than risks. Do you agree? Can you come up with different examples that show that using this app can create problems or even dangerous? Okay, so from this talk, we see an example of a person try to bring human emotions back to technology. So this is what it means by humanizing technology, to make technology more similar to human beings. Okay, so that's it for the TED Talk. Now I would like to talk about grammar, the present tenses. So could you turn your book to page 14? Okay, so last week I shouldn't say last week, okay, in the previous lecture, I used 3 example sentences to give you a general idea of how to use the present tenses. And now we are going to talk about them in details. So look at activity 2 on page 14. So the first one, what is used for general truth, okay, true, or to describe habits or routines? Of course, present tense. So here, please fill out present tense. And look at the usage here. Action happening at or around the time of speaking. Changing or temporary situations. So temporary situation might not be on your book. Yes, it is not on your book. You can add that in. Okay. And last one, with always, to describe action that happen often. Okay. And we usually use it to complain. Okay, to make a complaint. So here, this is present continuous. Okay, present continuous. Okay, and then the last one, to describe action that started in the past and continue to the present. So this is, of course, the present perfect. And I would like you to find a blank space to draw this timeline so that you can visualize what present perfect is from a non-specific time in the past, and its result continues to affect the present. Okay, its result continues to affect the present. Okay, so I ask you to do activity 3, 4, and 5, right? So now I would like you to use what we just talked about here to check your answers again. And if you haven't done these 3 activities, use these points that we just read here to decide the answer. Okay? And in the next video, we will go over the answers together.